Hello, creator. Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out the Universim. This is a game that recently released from Steam's early access program. You can find it for about $30. There is a 25% out of early access discount going on right now until February 5th, 2024. So if you like what you see here, you can get the game for a bit cheaper. This is one of those God games where you control this deity who is watching over this civilization as they grow. You'll be able to choose between small, default, large, and huge planets, but it still says beta, which is weird. You'd think a game out of early access, those beta tags would be gone. But anyway, so you'll be able to choose traits, like starting traits for your nuggets, as well as difficulty, should you want to mess with that. It's I wish I could fine-tune that a bit more, but for what it is, it's okay. So what are you doing in this game? Well, first, you're going to be presented with a fantastic opening, and I skipped it here because it's just very long, but it's one of the more unique introductions to the game. And there is this really charming narrator who will guide you through it. He's very humorous, he's very clear, very concise with what he's saying. It's great. I love it. And when you actually get into the thick of things, you'll be presented with this planet, and you'll be really, really tempted to just take a moment, maybe several moments, and just sort of fly around and see what you're getting into before you actually plop down your first town hall or whatever it's called. It's the very first building that you plop down. And then you start off with two of these people. Okay, and they have, it's cool. They've got their needs, hunger and all that good stuff. Over time, they will breed, and it just, the civilization will start growing, okay? They will automatically build their own housing wherever they see fit. You get to control things like where the eatery goes, or the reservoirs, the wells, the fishing huts, different things like that. There's also a huge research tree. It starts you off in the Stone Age, and you'll go all the way up to the Space Age. Now, admittedly, I am just getting through the modern age. There is still a Space Age that I have not touched yet, even though I've spent about 5 or 6 hours on my current playthrough. But admittedly, a lot of it was a waiting game. You're going to be doing a lot of that in this game. This feels more like a fishbowl. Yes, you're going to be placing buildings and enacting god powers on occasion, but still, there's still a lot of waiting involved. Your people will eventually have elections, and you can kind of decide, you can influence your nuggets, as they're called, to sway toward a certain leader, and each leader has their own unique abilities. Speaking of god powers, you'll be able to enact both chaos, and you can also help people. You can rejuvenate them, you can force them to mate so that they breed more. You can cast lightning or water, so you can actually fill up lakes that are draining because you're pumping water out of them. You can actually refill them by just causing rain to be cast over top that lake. And there's actually numbers behind that lake. Like if you click on the lake, you can see the fish population is this, the lake is this percent full, blah, 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 blah. It's really cool. You'll also unlock something called expeditions. You can send nuggets on a quest to the journey to the center of the earth, and you'll be sending them with food and different things like that, health, tools, and they will go down and come back up. This is very reminiscent of, say, Fallout Shelter, where you send someone out and then there's a log of what they've encountered up to that point, and you can force them to camp, send them back, that kind of thing. It's very rudimentary, but you can typically find stuff there. There's also a crime and happiness section, and certain buildings will give a positive influence toward happiness and crime and different things like that. Some buildings have a red negative towards it. So you have to keep those in check, because if people are unhappy or crime is too high, your civilization will grow out of control. So you kind of have to pay attention to what's giving you happiness, and how do I keep people very happy? How do I keep crime really low? You will eventually unlock police stations and the like, but still. There's also a worry about polluting the environment. There's 3 different power types in this game. You can only choose one of them, which is unfortunate. You can choose wind. You can choose kinetic, which they run around on like hamster wheels. And then there's combustion, gas polluting stuffs. So there is pollution in this game, and temperature will be affected by pollution should you go a less clean route. There are achievements, there's various stories in this game. Unfortunately, the game has a lot of fetch quests. So you'll be like, oh, I gotta drag this person with telekinesis over here. I gotta find this person over there. I hate that. It breaks up the monotony, sure, but I hate the fetch quests. And if you don't do them, you miss out on the rewards associated with it, which is really unfortunate. I really hate the fetch quests in this game. But yeah, I mean, it's fun watching everything just advance. You will get to automate things. There's a town hall. You can assign people to the town hall, and they will automate certain aspects: education, water, different things. They will automatically build the water pumps for you if you so desire. I hate it. I fire them all so that I have full control over what's being put where, because it's just a waste of resources. It actually costs resources for people to build housing and upgrade them, and you have no control over that. So, like, the fight for resources in this game, it's like you don't have full control over what's going on. Electricity, for example, when you get into modern housing, electricity costs start going up. You have no control over when that happens other than the research tree. So as soon as you start researching it, people will start upping their houses to need electricity. And you're like, oh crap, now I'm behind. I need to pump out like 7 wind turbines right now in order to keep up with that. And if you don't have the resources, you're screwed. So, like, the game, it can be a little punishing in some ways because of that, but it's still fun to watch these nuggets go around the environment and in this virtual fishbowl interact and go about their daily business. There's so many different types of buildings that you can construct, a lot of different resources that you can get. You start with stone and wood, and eventually move on to bricks and planks, and then gas, and then there's iron, and you refine that. There's chemicals, and there's a lot. Okay, there's a lot going on, but it is fun to watch all of this happen. And yes, you can automate things if you so choose to. There's also Twitch integration. This is something that I did a long time ago. Your Twitch viewers can actually send you research points so that research happens a lot faster. That's actually a detriment in some ways, because like I said, if you don't have your economy set up to handle it, your civilization is going to advance too fast, and you won't have the resources to keep everything running, which is crazy. There is a rudimentary combat thing in this game. There's a barracks. You just train people and you can send people out. Unfortunately, the way it's weird, there are other civilizations on the planet with you, but they're always protected by a dome, and they level up with you. Like, there's really no unique interaction with them. They just level up whenever you do, and that's it. I hate that. I wish they were a bit more unique and independent of each other. There's also some lacking features, like it'll tell you how many months you have until you run out of water, but when it comes to food, it doesn't really tell you if you have an income or not. And it's like some resources will tell you if you're in the positive, and others will tell you nothing as to what the current trend is. There are graphs and the like, but still, I just wish I could hover over the food section and go, okay, I'm losing 200 food a month. I need to do something, maybe more farms, more hunting grounds, that kind of thing. And so yeah, overall this game is fantastic. It scratches that black and white itch that I had from way back when. Black and White being a god game for the PC it's extremely old at this point. Unfortunately, the game isn't, it doesn't work anymore, at least on my PC. But this is the closest to Black and White that, again, a game that I've encountered in my travels. And even though it's a fishbowl, meaning I will typically watch Netflix or Hulu because there is some periods of boredom waiting for your economy to start rolling before you start upgrading your research tree any further. But it's still fun, just, going through the clouds, watching your screen get all wet, running into a mountain and watching it crack. Watching your screen crack temporarily. Little things like that. Or casting, wolves are about to attack, so you get to cast lightning. You can cast lightning on enemy wolves and prevent them from even taking your nuggets out. There are creator points in this game. So it's like there's a belief system. So the more people believe in you, the faster you accumulate these god power creator points, and then you can enact more things. Rejuvenation, again, wrathful things, all of that. So this game has a lot going for it. Don't get me wrong. Day-night cycles, seasons, you unlock the forecast tower and you can see what's coming. I love all that. So I do recommend this game. It's It's very well done. It's beautiful to look at. Again, the fetch quests I can totally do without. I didn't like them. But like everything else about the game, aside from like forced upgrades when I'm not ready because my economy isn't ready yet, like that's a thing. There's also invasions in this game. I'm not going to get into that too much. I wish I could have turned that off in the options, but it is what it is. So there is some forced combat if you're not ready for it, just be warned. But everything else, I won't spoil for you. You'll have to discover that on your own. So there you go, folks. That was the Universim. Definitely check this game out while it is on sale for 25% off. This is Vince. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you all next time. Take care.